Endor always seemed like a really nice place to visit, a proper tourist trap, if you will. Yes, I mean trap literally. I mean, who doesn't want to hang out with some space teddy bears all day? What, some of you don't like Ewoks? Well then this video is for you, because it's time to talk about the giant monster that terrorizes, captures, and possibly devours those fuzzy little motherfuckers. Today we're talking about the most feared creature on the forest moon, the Gorax. If you aren't already aware of this creature, let me explain it to you. To do that, though, we need to travel back to the glorious era of the 1980s. Back in the mid-1980s, Star Wars had become a cultural phenomenon across the entire world. Return of the Jedi had just released and the entire world was buzzing about the Star Wars trilogy, along with one of the most popular new additions among the young generation at least, the Ewoks. Because if there's one thing we know, it's that every time something in Star Wars gains any traction at all, it's a license to print money. So enter Caravan of Courage, the first Star Wars spin-off movie. Released in 1984, Caravan of Courage tells the story of two children separated from their parents after crashing on the forest moon of Endor. During their adventure, they team up with the Ewoks, including Wicket, yeah, that little guy has a name, and set off on a magical adventure to rescue their parents from the evil Gorax. You see, the Gorax has a habit of stealing other beings on the moon and taking them back to its lair, which is in the desert for some reason on the forest moon of Endor, but who cares? And they keep them as either their pets or, in other cases, food. The Gorax stands at over 6 meters tall and is covered in a coat of matted hair similar to a Sasquatch. Some are more humanoid in appearance, while others sport hoofed feet and long ears. The species hunts primarily at night, using its superior hearing to find prey. They are sensitive to bright light though, which makes them almost exclusively nocturnal. The Gorax is considered semi-sentient. They lack the ability to properly communicate with other creatures and races and use more than basic tools. The Gorax does seem to have an understanding of basic construction though, able to make simple sitting areas, tables, and cages to hold captives. The Gorax species is also known to train and employ other giant species on the planet, including boar wolves. One of these things is seen in Caravan of Courage attacking the protagonists. The personality and tendencies of the Gorax reflect on the fact that they have only recently gained sentience. Self-preservation is their biggest drive in life. They care about food and their own intentions with no regard for others, such as the Ewok villages they attack. And despite the Gorax being feared among the Ewoks, there's estimated to only be a few dozen of them on the planet, which would make Gorax Tinder really boring. It's unknown if the Gorax is a completely native species of Endor or if they were introduced. There are conflicting reports on this in the Star Wars universe. Zoologist Lyrie Tiena, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Star Wars is weird. Anyways, she states that she believes they are a native species as the gravitational pull of the moon would allow for large creatures to be prevalent. On the other side though, there are theories that the Gorax was introduced from the crash landing of a slave ship along with another gigantic species, the Flogs. And really, that's most of what we know on the Gorax, so let's get right into trivia then. Yes, the Gorax is officially considered canon in the new Star Wars universe. While they were a part of the Legends branch, the Gorax was included in the Ultimate Star Wars reference book in 2015, thus making it an official part of the new canon. The traps that were set up by the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi were actually intended to be stopping a Gorax attack before they were repurposed for use against AT-STs. Yes, this was completely pulled out of someone's ass to explain the fact how the Ewoks were able to make those traps in such a short amount of time, but still. And Caravan of Courage, the movie where the Gorax appeared, has been referenced in a variety of Star Wars media, most notably in 2015's Star Wars Battlefront on the Survivors of Endor map, where you can enter a cave that has some spiders that appear in the movie, along with some cages and other items that look like the Gorax may have crafted. So there you go. The Gorax is super weird and stuff, but it's kinda neat. If you have any other comments or facts about the Gorax, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd love to see them. If you have any other topics that you want to see covered in the Weird Lore series, then let me know. If you enjoyed this video and you want to support me, two ways you can do that. Throw a tip if you're watching it on VidMe, or go and check out my Patreon. $1 would be super awesome. Special thanks to all the recent Patreon and VidMe supporters. You guys are awesome. And if you'd like to continue the discussion, head over to my Discord server. Lots of cool peeps over there. I am PattyJack, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day.